You can see their minds expanding and their concept of the natural world growing.
It is going to blend really well with the natural environment. We're doing extensive planting of native vegetation.
You have to think about the future, so we plan the building for what's going to happen in the future, the growth of the region.
Hi, I'm Candace Ng, and you're watching The Sustainable Region. Today, we invite you to come along as we visit Centennial Beach at Boundary Bay Regional Park. If you've never been here, it's definitely worth the trip to South Delta. Of course, the whole point of Metro Vancouver operating 22 regional parks is to get you out enjoying nature. In fact, it's one of Metro Vancouver's goals. But in doing so, park staff want to make sure that people are enjoying our beaches in a way that respects and protects important habitat. It's as predictable as the rising and falling of the tides at Boundary Bay. Every June, school children flock to the beach by the thousands to celebrate the end of the school year. And Metro Vancouver Park interpreters use that as an educational opportunity.
The impact of having that many people visiting the shore is quite huge. Not so much necessarily because of all the digging and the exploring, because the tide takes care of that. But one of the real problems we find is that when you get that many visitors and each one is taking away a bucket of shells or dried sand dollar tests, the habitat gets quite decimated over time.
Wow, you've got a huge collection.
The idea of connecting children with nature is so important these days because more and more, with every passing year and every passing electronic invention, children are disconnecting from their natural environments to the point where children coming to the beach don't know how to care for the animals. They're so almost overwhelmed by being here. They're either nervous, they don't know what to expect, they're not comfortable.
Do you want to try holding a live crab? You sure? There's nothing to be nervous about. Nothing here can hurt you.
There is nothing as exciting and adorable as seeing these children and their overwhelming enthusiasm and excitement for being in this place, and the discovery that everything they're looking at is actually alive, and their sense of excitement and wonder that they express coming to the beach. Some of them have never been before. They're just absolutely amazed by what's here.
Oh, I touched it. Touch it. Touch it.
That's a real crusher.
It's fine.
Did
you touch it?
You can see their minds expanding and their concept of the natural world growing in front of your eyes. And we would never ever want any child to not have that opportunity. And so the idea of finding a way to help children have that experience and yet help protect the habitat at the same time by sharing this idea that you can explore, you can have all the wonder, but gently and carefully.
Most of the action takes place around the pool, but the interpreters also actively patrol the beach to help spread their message.
Hi guys! How you doing?
Good.
These kids have decorated their sandcastle with shells without realizing that some of the shells are inhabited.
This one's alive. And when they're living, they actually need water. So when you guys finish building your castle and you go home the end of the day, what are you going to do with your castle? Are you going to leave it like this? No.
We are trying to get a powerful message across to visitors to the beach that they do need to care for this space and to treat the animals with care and to not take away anything from the beach. But we try to make our message as fun as possible by asking the children to become beach heroes while they're here.
Would you like to become beach heroes today? Would you? Okay.
If they promise to be good caretakers of this place, then we give them stickers and bookmarks and tattoos, and they seem quite happy with that. We're hoping that when children and adults leave the beach at the end of the day, they've had a fabulous learning experience and a really great memory of this beautiful regional park and what's here for them. We're taking care of a space that's so engaging and beautiful and fascinating, and it's here for them to come and enjoy anytime they like. And hopefully when they do come and they bring their own families, they will remember to treat it with respect and care and become stewards of this habitat.
We all have too much stuff, but getting rid of it in a sustainable way is tough. Like all that old sports gear or that leftover paint that can't go to the landfill. Metro Vancouver's We Recycle app turns your iPhone into a reuse and recycling powerhouse. It'll find the nearest place for your stuff to go. Simple, sustainable. Everything has its place. We Recycle, now available in the App Store.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region and our look at some of the ocean shorelines in our regional parks. Centennial Beach is one of 5 saltwater beaches in our regional parks, and it also happens to be home to Metro Vancouver's newest concession building, just a hop, skip and a jump from the park's new accessible playground. The new concession facility at Boundary Bay Regional Park is up and running, and summer weather is giving it a real workout. The building represents an important landmark in Metro Vancouver's management of the former municipal Centennial Beach area, which was absorbed into the regional park in 2002.
I started on this probably more than 4 years ago, so it's been a while. And that was meetings with the community, meetings with the Corporation of Delta, coming up with the location, exactly what the capacity is going to be, was there going to be a concession or not, and we finally landed on what we wanted, and then hired a consultant team, a design team, hired a contractor, and here we are with a great building.
The new facility is getting good reviews.
A lot of people have been talking about the glass. There's the feature glass at the entry to the washrooms, and it's got the beach grass on it, and people are really struck by that when they first come in. And just the natural lighting that goes through the washroom area, it's really nice. They really like the look of the building. They like how it really fits into the park.
It's a beautiful building. I like all the glass. I like the light.
I think it's very architectural. I'm interested in architecture, and we needed it. I mean, this deer thing down the road has been there for years, but I think it's wonderful.
So yeah, I think I'm suitably impressed from what I've seen so far.
The building also features a green roof.
We ordered the plants about a year in advance, so they grew them specifically for this place, and we ordered native beach plants. So it's like a beach in the sky, and we've got hardly any weeds, and the plants are quite happy.
As well, the facility features glass designed to prevent bird strikes. It's embedded with a faint pattern that's enough to prevent birds from flying into it. That's just one of many high-end features that add up to a fairly hefty price tag of $2.5 million, but it is built for long-term value.
One of the things that we have tried to do with being a durable building was to make it long-lasting. So the less that we have to replace parts of the building and maintenance and upkeep, the better. It's one of the more sustainable things you can do is to make something that lasts.
You have to think about the future, so we plan the building for what's going to happen in the future, the growth of the region, and the different visitors that will come to the park for the future.
The building's approximately 4,500 square feet. There are the primary washrooms, there are 2 family change rooms, there's a universally accessible washroom, a first aid room, and also change rooms. And then the concession on its own, which takes up a significant part of the building.
And from that concession, an amazing view.
It's quite a broad view. You can see the mountains and the ocean from afar, and you can also look over the playground. So if you are a parent or a caregiver of the child in the playground, you can have a great view over to them. So you can have your coffee and relax and have a seat at the cafe. There's also interior space for people to sit on a rainy day or a colder day. Working on this for quite a few years, it feels really good to see something on the ground, and seeing kids here today really enjoying it and using it for what it's supposed to be. It's just a natural fit into the park.
Hi, I'm Candace, and I live here in Metro Vancouver. There's more than 2 million of us living here in the region, and together we throw out 360 million bags of garbage each year. That's around 156 bags of garbage each. This is my share. Watch your waste. Welcome back. The concession here at Boundary Bay Regional Park features traditional beach fare like burgers and fish and chips. but it also offers other options that you might not expect, like noodle boxes and fish tacos. Yum! But you don't have to buy your food at the beach. Many people are surprised to learn that you can catch your own dinner in some of our regional parks. The Docket Belcarra Beach is a popular crabbing spot, and it really isn't hard to do. Peter Lawrence shows us the ropes.
Hi, I'm Peter Lawrence, park interpreter for Metro Vancouver. And today, I'm on the wharf at Belcarra Regional Park where I'm going to go catch my dinner. Crabbing is one of the many fun activities that you can do here, and it has a really tasty end result too. All you need is a trap, some bait, and your fishing license. You don't want to be caught by a fisheries officer without one of these. You can get them online or at a tackle shop. They're inexpensive, and if you're under 16, they're even free. They give you the right to catch 4 crabs a day. Traps come in many shapes and sizes, but the real key is the bait. Popular choices are fish heads, chicken necks, and backs. Save them when you're cooking, put them in the freezer, and when you need some bait, just pull them out. 1, 2, 3. And now we wait. In the meantime, it's important to know which crabs you can keep. First of all, if it's a female crab, it has to be thrown back to let it reproduce. To tell the difference, turn the crab over. On the underside, if it looks like a beehive, it's a female. If it looks like a lighthouse, it's a male. It's also good to have one of these handy doodads to check the size of your catch. Minimum of 115 millimeters for red rock crab and 165 millimeters for Dungeness. This crab ruler will let you know if your catch is headed for the dinner table or back into the ocean to grow another year.
Let's go down.
On weekends in the summer, volunteers from the Beach Keepers program are here to help if you have any questions. And you can help them by letting them measure your crabs for their ongoing crab study.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see what we've got. Ooh, crabs. So this is a Dungeness. It's legal sized, and it's a male. You can tell by this lighthouse shape underneath. So that one is headed for the dinner plate. These ones are undersized, and this one's a female. You can see because it has this beehive shape underneath. So they've got to go back in. Remember, wherever you are in the region, there's a park just waiting for you to explore. See you out there.
Welcome back. Boundary Bay and Belcarra Regional Parks both offer oceanfront recreation, but they're not the only seaside beaches in Metro Vancouver's repertoire. Now, when you hear the name Iona, you probably think of the sewage treatment plant by the same name. What you might not know is, it's also the location of a rather unique beach. Welcome to Iona Beach Regional Park in Richmond. This park has open spaces and stunning vistas all year round. Iona Beach is where the Fraser River meets the Strait of Georgia. This mix of salt and seawater creates a rare ecosystem. Take a walk or ride your bike down the Iona Jetty, a 4-kilometer flat trail that offers magnificent scenery and wildlife viewing. The marshes in Iona are rich with wildlife and provide important habitat for rare bird species. North Jetty Arm is a 3-kilometer-long sandy beach shoreline with rare dune habitat. Iona Beach is the perfect place for plane spotting, bird watching, fishing, and kite flying. So open your calendars and find some time for an afternoon at Iona Beach Regional Park.
In Metro Vancouver, everything has its place, and the We Recycle app can help you find that place. Take, for example, drywall. Maybe you've just renovated your new kitchen, maybe you've gutted your basement. Either way, Metro Vancouver transfer stations only allow minimal amounts of drywall. The We Recycle app can tell you where and how you can dispose of your waste drywall, and will also tell you how to get there. But here's what it won't tell you. Drywall is composed of gypsum plaster pressed between paper. Gypsum is a very soft sulfate mineral composed of calcium sulfate dihydrate. Gypsum in landfills is a problem because it breaks down the clay seals used to protect the water table from dangerous liquids that seep from other garbage. Preventing contamination of our water supply is one of many good reasons to recycle drywall. To minimize local environmental impacts from drywall dust, recycling process plants have developed air filtration systems, and most of the process takes place indoors. Wet and dry loads of waste drywall are cleaned of metal, plastic, and other debris. The material is then conveyed to an enclosed processing area that separates the paper liner from the gypsum core. The paper gets washed and bundled and then sent off to the paper recycling plant. The recyclable gypsum is either trucked back to drywall manufacturers or used in other ways. Gypsum is particularly useful in soil improvement as a soil conditioner and as a fertilizer. It is a fast-releasing source of sulfur and calcium, and when dissolved, improves the texture, drainage, and aeration of clay soils. So why not help a farmer and recycle that drywall? Go to the App Store to download the We Recycle app or metrovancouverrecycles.org to find out more. In Metro Vancouver, everything has its place.
Welcome back to the Sustainable Region. It's as certain as death and taxes. When you gotta go, you gotta go. We're talking about bathrooms, of course. I'll be back in a second. Disposing of human waste at the beach is actually quite a serious matter, more so when it affects the community of people who use Vancouver's most famous spot for sun worshippers, Wreck Beach. They come by the thousands every summer. 300,000 people, in fact, trek up and down Trail 6 during the busy 4-month beach season. Some, if not all of them, will visit the outhouse at the top of the infamous Wreck Beach Trail, or the portable toilets closer to the beach.
The facilities that were there were about 20 years old, and so we needed to update those facilities and make sure they were up to modern standards.
The decision by Metro Vancouver to go ahead with the Wreck Beach toilet replacement project at Pacific Spirit Regional Park led to this unusual sight early one rainy morning in June of 2012.
And it was central to the construction theme that a large portion of the construction could be done off-site and brought in by a barge, which is the same technique that Metro had been using to pump out the existing toilet facilities. I think the barge comes from Horseshoe Bay, drops a drawbridge-like element, and there was a temporary access made across that beach to bring in the various construction components.
Bringing materials in by barge was the only alternative to putting in a temporary road to the beach, something that neither Metro Vancouver nor the beach's users wanted to see.
Planning the toilets was a little bit controversial because the beach community has always worked very closely with Metro Vancouver in the management of the site. And so any changes that come to the beach are things that we like to work with the community very closely on. They always have an opinion and we want to hear it.
It was about 1.5 years ago when they brought in architects with possible ideas and designs. They were willing to listen, and within a short time they came back with an actual model with what you're seeing behind me.
The public consultation process took about 18 months, and during that time, the design of the new toilets changed dramatically.
I think really the end result is nothing like what the original proposals were, and it was all a reaction to the user's input. The original design was a 9-hole facility located where that farm of plastic houses are now, up on the bench high above the beach. It was also a really cool design, we thought, but the presence of a building-like structure seemed to rub nerves.
Instead, the final design called for small circular buildings, 4 together in one cluster at the beach and 2 at the top of the trail.
All right, well that'll be great. It's gonna look great when it's done.
Yeah, sure. Originally, they were dispersed across the beach in a number of locations, including out towards where the log booms are. I think that was definitely one of the feelings of the user groups, that it would be better to clump them together.
The toilet stalls are an example of what's known as CPTED, crime prevention through environmental design. The stalls aren't totally enclosed so as to discourage inappropriate use. They're too heavy to tip over, and their design generally discourages vandalism. The open concept also improves airflow, while tall stacks direct gases away from the stalls.
The round design that we developed with public input, we feel is reminiscent of the beach logs on the beach. They're a big part of the character of the beach, and so we're really happy to capture that. We feel that it is going to blend really well with the natural environment. We're doing extensive planting of native vegetation to make sure that it is not too visible from the beach, so it's not going to be obtrusive.
The units at the top have 2 stalls, while those on the beach have 3. The tanks will handle triple the volume of the previous ones, which means the rather expensive task of pumping them out will be reduced from 5 or 6 times a year to once or twice. But the real value is in the improved environmental protection afforded by reduced greenhouse gas emissions from the barge and trucks used during pump-outs, and by people using the toilets instead of the beach.
I think it looks great. It's going to get high usage, it will blend in, the shape is unique, and I think nature will start to cover them with lichen and moss pretty quickly in our damp climate.
The design that we developed with public input is something that we're really happy with. We feel that it meets the needs of the site, both in terms of the volume of use, but also fitting into the natural setting.
Hi, I'm Robert Bateman. I've been playing around out in nature and painting nature all my life, but I got serious when I was 12. What we need to do in our society, all of us need to do, including me, we need to slow down. If there's a Metro Vancouver park near you, and I bet there is, get out there and enjoy it.
Welcome back to our day at the beach. If you're an active water lover, here's a way to explore regional parks from a different perspective. Looking for a great way to enjoy the outdoors? Then look no further than the lakes and rivers of Metro Vancouver's regional parks. Whether you're spending a sunny afternoon canoeing around Burnaby Lake or kayaking along the Fraser River, paddling is a great way to stay active. It's also a fun way to take in the beauty of Metro Vancouver's regional parks from a whole new perspective. Paddling is a great option for families and nature lovers of all ages. And just like going for a walk, it's only as strenuous as you want it to be. If you're new to paddling, you'll want to start out on some nice still water, and Dees Island and Delta offers the perfect spot. Dees Slough offers calmer waters than on the main channel and a floating dock, perfect for launching your canoe or kayak. And you don't even need your own canoe, because the park offers guided paddling programs to help you pick up some basic skills while you explore the Fraser River estuary. Burnaby Lake also has some great programs for beginners, like the Beaver Wetland Paddle, where you can spend a magical summer evening gliding across the headwaters of the Brunette, where you might just spot some busy beavers. All of Metro Vancouver's group leaders are Flatwater certified and ready to help ensure you have a great time out on the water. If you're already confident in still water, you can give Bray Island Regional Park in Fort Langley a try. For paddling in moving water, there really is no better place to get your feet wet. And the Bray Island Paddle Center offers boat rentals and lessons to keep you upright and out of the river. And for more experienced paddlers, Metro Vancouver Regional Parks offer a ton of great launching spots along the Fraser River, from Matsqui Trail to Derby Reach. When it comes to the Fraser River, we're your exploration destination. But remember, river paddling is not for beginners. It's important to be aware of potential swift currents that come with paddling on such an active body of water. In Metro Vancouver, we are afforded so many world-class ways to immerse ourselves in nature, and our waterways are no exception. So the next time the pressures of city life start to get to you, remember that all of this is just a few dips of the paddle away. That's all we have time for in this episode. We hope you learned something about the beaches in our regional parks, and more importantly, we'll help you go and visit one. We'd love to hear what you think about our show, or share ideas for an upcoming episode. You can reach us by email at sustainableregion@metrovancouver.org. And don't forget, you can watch and share our videos online anytime you want at metrovancouver.org/videos. For the Sustainable Region, I'm Candace Ng. Thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you at the beach.